you guys are probably wondering where the hell we were for the last 2 weeks. And what happened? So this was like the beginning of August, I think it was.
Right, right.
My memory's so bad. So
No,
all
it
I
was the
know,
beginning of August.
yeah, all I know is one of those days leading into it, we were supposed to do some work. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then we didn't. It might have been me. And then I was like, all right, cool. So let's do some work. I had the place to myself. So I was messaging you. I couldn't get a hold of you. We spoke about that. And
Right.
then so what I ended up doing was, you guys can see this on our channel. I ended up recording 2 weeks of work, basically to make sure that on our for our private reasons that we have content coming out daily, for the 2 weeks that we've been off. And then this guy took it upon himself to delete a lot of that work. Why did you delete a lot of that work? Tell the people.
Correct. Um, there's no light way to say it, so I'm just gonna say it, man. I hold this channel to a high standard, as you should as well, right? So you told me the amount of work you put in, and for 2 weeks worth of work. So how many videos? About 10 to 12 videos?
No, there's a lot more than that. I had
It was
I had
more.
I had 14 days of work, 2 videos a day. I created 28 videos.
So 28 videos, and you told me total time that it took you to complete 28 videos. That means find stories, record it, and edit it was 8 hours. And
That's
you spent
correct.
4 hours within 2 days, is
That
what you
is
told me.
correct. 4 hours
Okay.
per day.
So I listen, the days that we missed, those videos still up. Watched them, saw what you were putting out there, saw the response that was coming from the views and all that type of stuff. Wasn't looking good. So I
All that
said,
all that
I
type of
said,
stuff.
I said that's one, but also it's gonna look real weird with you just being on the channel for 2 weeks with like no explanation at all. I didn't want people to think, maybe a controversy could have been good. Who knows? But it looks weird when it just is one guy the whole time for 2 weeks and nobody understands why. So that was also a second reason. I didn't want any confusion for the viewers. There's no beef between us. I don't want them to think there's any problems. There isn't. But we didn't say anything about why we would need to do that prior to doing it. So for consistency purposes and for the purposes of giving the viewers what they come to see, which is two guys doing a podcast, I said, I don't think this is going to fly.
Well, I obviously totally disagreed.
Obviously.
Which is why the last communication we had was, I can't even remember. My memory's so bad, but it was like, when do you want to pod again? And we didn't land on a date. And I purposely didn't text this guy for the 2 weeks that I created content for. And I imagine throughout that time you got some other stuff. Who knows what you did? Nobody cares. But I could tell you this, is that
So
when
rude.
it comes to one person being on the screen when they are used to two, that would lead to speculation, and that's fine. But I could, because I mean, it's happening right now with We Love Hip Hop. Like nobody, Guts finally came out and said something, but Guts
Right.
wasn't on that channel for a while, and it took me a while to even notice.
Same Z's. Same Z's.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, basically, viewing public, here's where we're at. We're trying to figure out how to make this work, okay? Because my schedule is my availability is very sporadic. Like I'm available at certain times, and then even those times change, and they change on a whim. Even right now, as we're podcasting, I just found out that I have family coming over from New York. They're literally on their way right now.
How did you just forget about it, or like
No,
it just
no, no.
happened?
They were supposed to come yesterday, and then they
Mhm.
flopped. So then they messaged my wife and they're like, yo, we're on our way. We're coming from Brampton.
Okay. Well, if they're coming from Brampton, when did they leave?
They left about 35 minutes ago.
Oh, you got time.
So the point is like, that's to kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So what I told this guy yesterday was, I'm like, yo, I don't think we should do this podcast. And no, you said that to me. You're like, let me just rip the Band-Aid off and tell you that I don't know why I'm putting words in your mouth. You tell them what you said to me.
Yeah. So we had a conversation because he was pretty much explaining to me his schedule, right? And when you were available was between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. And I like you knew what my hours were. Like he knew, like he sent me that on purpose, like the time on purpose, because he knew that I wasn't available. So pretty much what he was saying without saying it is I'm not available to do this podcast at the times normally when we're able to do them, is what I gathered from that, right? So coupled with everything else that we had, the scheduling changes and whatever, I was like, you know what? I don't think we're going to be able to put forth the effort and make the sacrifices that we need to make in order for this channel to become a successful thing. And I would love to be able to just on a whim, just say, yeah, I can switch times and do that. But you know my hours, you know the job I work, man. So for me, it's just not possible. So when I got on the phone with you, I just said, you know what? I saw the reality of what I thought it was. So I said, listen, why don't we just rip the Band-Aid off? We don't have no problems with each other. We don't have no beef, once again, but it's just something where our schedules no longer are able to work. So let's just, you know what I mean? If it's not able to work, it's not able to work.
So then I said, well, look, you know, again, without disclosing all of my own personal, I was just basically like, look, it's not that I don't want to pod anymore. It's just like the timing. And I came to a realization that it's not fair for me to podcast with other people, even when it's as easy as a Zoom call, just because I always have to put a lot and I have a greater expectation from the person that I'm potting with as far as their flexibility to be able to move with my schedule. You
And
know,
let's be honest, I have a different job now. That's really the main reason, right?
yeah,
My
but
new job is what limits my hours. Because if it was my previous job, I would probably be able to work with it.
well, and then like even yesterday, we were trying to get a guest together, and even while I was speaking with that person, I was literally trying to book them around my schedule, and I had to say, "Whoa!" And then I reached out to this guy, and he's like, "Yo, hello, like, what about my schedule? What about?" I wasn't even considering the person we're interviewing schedule
Yeah,
because
he's like, yeah, we're just gonna go. So what I'm gonna do, we're just gonna go at this time. So be home at that time. And I was like, so did you? Okay, so the person that we're interviewing, did you ask them if they're available? And his honest response to me was, they're available.
yeah.
They're available. I was like, oh, okay, so you know people's schedules like that. Okay, cool.
So this is an example of why I said, all right, maybe we should rip off the Band-Aid. And then another thing was, you guys could tell by the background, I switched the location of where we pod, and this
Right.
wall right here is shared with my daughter's room. So that also poses an issue. I like to talk loudly, and I can't do that given the only other available time that we could pod. So anyways, I
And
just
then we looked into seeing what we could do with the room as well.
we did.
Right. We
So
saw if we could soundproof it,
the
and
whole shit. So I
that came
just
back. That didn't come back well. You'd have to insulate. What was it that you'd have to do? Take
I'd
down
have to
walls
take the
and
wall and then I'm not doing that. And then so on top of that, what else? Yeah, so I tested it with my daughter. She woke up. So really it just boiled down to me saying like it's not fair to demand so much of the person that I'm potting with, based on my availability. So anyways, we're like, okay, I don't know what the fuck to do now. We're like, we don't know what the fuck to do.
yeah.
So because we have this interview that we want to do, and the person reached out to us and say, hey, yo, I want to give you guys this, whatever. And we're like, all right, cool. But then what?
Right. And it's like we still want to continue doing this, but it's like there's so many things that are making it difficult for us to do it at the same time, like just together.
So I don't know, you guys viewing, for those who are out there, for those who care. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to I guess wait and see what comes after this. The one thing that will definitely come after this is we'll definitely give you that interview. And then apart from that, we're just gonna try to figure something out where we can still
Hilariously,
pod.
I honestly believe that if we were monetized right now and at least some kind of money was coming in and we're getting views, at least we'd be able to, like, I don't know, find a space or something. That's really all we need.
Yeah.
Because the times could be worked around, you know what I mean? I could be mobile, so it's all good.
Well, I don't know. Viewing
But
public, like
we talked about that too, and that's different. That's difficult because of the distances between where we are.
exactly. We're literally an hour apart. So
Yeah.
we're trying to make this work. We don't want to be like I feel like we want to be like the Locks, the group that never broke up. Every other group broke up.
Yeah, and that's happening a lot right now, especially in
Yeah.
podcasting.
podcasting. They've We Love Hip Hop. That's done. Angela Yee left the Breakfast Club.
Right?
First, the Fat Boys break up. Then every day I wake
Jesus
up.
and Miro,
Jesus and Meryl, like,
Joe Budden.
right? So
Come on, man.
I don't know. Again, you know what? Like, in all honesty, like, I don't hate him, and I don't think he hates me. We've certainly had I don't want to say,
Disagreements.
yeah, I don't want to say
Yeah.
harsh words, but I'd say honest conversations. And
What I
that's,
appreciate about us though is that we can speak freely to each other and get over it because we understand the ultimate goal.
yeah,
That's what I appreciate.
yeah, and I'm not made of glass. And also
Yeah.
my humor is I have to make fun of you. Like, you cannot work with me and not, like, if I can't make fun of you, I just can't work with you. And if I'm making fun of you and you think I'm being serious, then I definitely can't work with you for sure.
Yeah.
Because that's just my way of trying.
Same.
That's my way of either trying to ease the tension or provoke tension. And I'm not doing it to be mean. I'm just doing it just to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know, man. Viewing public, if you're out there and if you care, some likes on this video would be appreciated. Some comments as well, just so we could try to figure out what the F train to do. Like, we had a
Give
whole
some suggestions if you got any too, man. For
yeah,
real.
we had a whole thing where he's like, oh, let's talk about Young Thug and the snitching. And I'm like, I don't care about that stuff right now. Like, I don't care about that stuff right now. Like, what do I want to talk about that for? We don't even, like,
we don't even know if we're going to be able to continue doing this.
Yo, we have the free,
long time.
We have the free version of Zoom.
How much time?
We were like, should we invest?
How much time do we have until it's like your schedule is so different that it's literally impossible? How long did you say that was? A couple weeks?
My new schedule is going to start on September 1.
Yeah, so a couple weeks.
It's going to start September 1. I'm going to be working until 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And then and this is the craziest thing, is I have a 4.5 hour gap wide open Monday to Friday, wide open. But obviously, like most people, they're at work at that time.
I work 9 hours in the day, my man. Yeah.
So you see how that, and then I'm telling this guy, I'm like, yo, I could podcast that time. I'll just reach out to people and be like, yo. And then he's like, well, how do you know they're going to be available? I'm like, trust me, they're available.
Yeah, they're available. Hey, yo, and if you're watching, he does that with me too. So don't just think it's the other people that we have on this. He does that with me too, where he'll just tell me what time it's going down, and like the day of, just like, okay, this is what's happening. It's like, okay, well, I have stuff that goes on in my life as well. I don't have.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Okay, all right. You know what?
He really doesn't. He really doesn't. Okay. He really doesn't at all. He really does not at all.
my bills just pay themselves, man. That's the life I'm living.
Have you ever seen Seinfeld? You know Kramer? Nobody knows how his bills get paid.
Nobody knows. He just pops in. Yeah.
He doesn't he doesn't get evicted.
I like that.
But
that's a good comparison.
Look, viewing public, like I said, we definitely have one more in the bag for you. It's going to be an interesting one, I think.
Yeah.
And I guess we should just come out and say it. Should we just say it?
Just go ahead, man.
Yeah, well, we're interviewing Guts, and man, the We Love Hip Hop podcast, not over, but Guts left. He's gone. And news
about a few more.
I was looking at the Moolah first pod. I'm like, where's Guts? So then I said, all right, maybe Friday just did that on his own. Then I started going through the channel, and I'm looking at the segments. I'm like, where's Guts? Because I'm like, all right, well, maybe Friday goes on the internet and he just rants sometimes. So maybe is that. So then I start looking at the full episodes. I'm going back on the full episodes, the 2.5 hour episodes. I'm like, where's Guts? So then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, let me at least go to his Instagram and see if this guy's still posting. Maybe he's on vacation. So I go to his gram, and then I see a big something canceled. I'm like, what? And then I go to his story, and he goes into more details with that. And apparently, like, they don't hate each other. Apparently, I don't know. You know what I mean? Who knows? I guess we're gonna find out. But apparently, it was over creative differences, and all that sounds like to me is, and I could be totally wrong. We're gonna know when we sit down with this nigga. But all it sounds like to me is, here's Friday. Here's Guts. Friday owns this motherfucker. Guts doesn't. Hey, Friday, I think we should do this. Well, nigger, I own this shit.
Okay.
So
All
how
right.
about that? And I could be totally wrong.
It's two
Fridays,
black men, and somehow you managed to make it sound like a slave movie.
listen, Friday's my guy. You understand what I'm saying? But like, if it is creative differences, it just maybe it played out more diplomatic than that. But if somebody leaves their job over creative differences, I don't see how diplomatic it could be. Or maybe, I mean, we might break up, and this seems a little amicable. But I don't know. What do you think?
I listen. I've heard all types of things, and I've heard from different places and sources. And listen, I want to say everything right now, but I would rather save it for when we give the interview, man. I want to see if the shit that I heard was true. And why not? When we're gonna talk to the source, let's do it and see what he says.
Well, viewing
Because
public.
I actually have information from both sides. Sorry, I
Oh,
just had to add that last part.
yeah, I guess that's. I haven't talked to none of
Is
these
that
guys.
important? I see. That's the thing with me, man. I try to do the hot takes, but I always miss the hot part.
Just to
I
take.
just get right to the take, right? So
Just to take. Well,
yeah,
viewing public. I like. Here's the other thing too, and I want to know: do you guys care? Do you care that Guts left? Because this is why. Not saying Gus isn't super entertaining, because he is, and he's great at his job. But do you guys go to We Love Hip Hop for Guts and Friday, or do you go to We Love Hip Hop for the guests? Right? Because albeit our channel is quite smaller than theirs, if you are on this channel, you are here for us because we don't have guests.
right. We
So
appreciate you.
yeah, you're here for us. So my question is do you care that Guts left? And also, why do you go to that platform? Are you there for Friday and Guts when he was there, or are you there for the guests? All right. And as far as our situation, who knows? It's up in the air. We'll figure it out. You got a basement we could use, some free transportation?
Yeah, but I have Rogers internet, remember? So
Nah, I don't mean your place. I'm talking about
oh,
the viewing public. Do you guys
yeah,
have a
I like
spare
that.
like a spare room that we could use once a week, maybe? Hmm?
Yeah. Somewhere
Maybe
it's got to be in the GTA region.
in the GTA region. We'll figure it out. Yeah, man. Let's I don't know how to end this thing because it might be
I
the
know.
last.
I know I know. I think that's why we kept the conversation going like this, man. Because normally we just get right to news stories, right? But today there was like I was with you. That's what when you sent me that message, like none of this shit excites me. I was like, it doesn't excite me either. I just thought we were gonna talk about some shit. So
No.
I just tried to find some shit to talk about that people were talking about. But honestly, this is all I'm thinking about because you know how I feel about this. I do not. We're like right there. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough for me. Put a lot of work in, man. It's 2 years, almost 2 years now. Well, we're
Yeah.
in August, so it's 2 years now.
Yeah.
2 years of straight work, dedication, multiple videos on a daily basis. We started out doing 3, sometimes 2, but we never wanted to do just one. And if it took us finding extra work to do it, it's crazy. Like some of the things that we did in order just to grind this, he learned how to do video editing. I had to learn Adobe Photoshop. It's crazy the things that like we're gonna come out of this with like better people and with better skills, but where we are right now and what we work for, I just feel like there's been so much effort put into it for it to just happen like this. Like it's like Girlfriends, you know, why did they never get a proper series finale?
That
It's
always that always pissed me off.
yeah, it never got a proper series finale. You know what I mean? So, and there's tons of shows that are like that.
Yeah, I don't know
Though
why
this
you
is
had
what
to
this feels
use
like.
why you had to use
Girlfriends?
Girlfriends. Great
Okay,
show.
first of
Great
all, don't
show.
judge me.
Great show.
Okay, the shows that you watch, just okay, chill.
Just saying, you could have used like the Wayne's brothers, but anyways,
That was a good one too. That was a good one too.
never
That
got
was
a
a
good
good one too.
ending.
Yeah.
All right, well, hopefully we'll see you guys next time. Well, we will see you guys next time
At least one more time.
for that Guts interview.
At
and
least one
then
more time.
We'll go from there. Again, if you have a spare basement, let us know.